the worst thing I did? Oh my God. Glamorous tissues. They have glamorous tissues in there.
Lots of support.
Any regrets?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay. Me? No.
Hey everyone, this is sei.spiers and welcome back to the Leadership Project. For today's episode, I am gonna be your host and I'm gonna surprise you. This is my husband, Mick. He's gonna be the guest for today. So welcome to the Leadership Project, Mick. Can you greet our audience?
Thank you, Sei. Hi, everyone. It's great to be with you again today. Sei, I've been looking forward to this for a very long time, and here we are today. Let's do this.
Yeah, I'm very excited to do this. Oh my God, it took us a long while to do this, but then here we are right now. Yeah, I'm very excited to ask you this question. So, the first question, what inspired you to do this book?
That's a great question, Sei. And what it comes down to is the leadership crisis that we see in the world right now. Depending on which research you read, there's organisations like the Association of Talent Development who say that it's 16%, or Gallup Research who say that it's only 20% of people in the world truly love their job and like their boss. And that's just a tragedy. People are spending up to 1/3 of their lives in these workplaces that just don't inspire them, or worse still, completely stress them out. So the reason why I founded the Leadership Project in the first place, and now the reason why I'm writing books, was to address that leadership crisis once and for all.
Oh yes, it's a very good one. You know, this is timely and relevant, this book. You know, can you tell me about this book? Because, you know, this is, you've launched this book last month, and then here we are right now. It's a 1 month anniversary, or a 1 month anniversary of your book.
Yeah, it is 1 month now, and I'm really excited to say that we hit #1 bestseller in 6 different categories on Amazon, and we're really proud of the success of the book. And it's not just me, it might be my name on the book, it might be my words inside, but there was a whole team that helped me gave me the support I needed, the support infrastructure that I needed to be able to write the book. So what I did is, looking at this leadership crisis, I wanted to have a look at where can I help the most? And I thought about those first-time leaders. So what happens is, typically someone might be a wonderful software engineer, or a great digital marketer, or a great nurse, whatever it is that they're good at, and they get that tap on the shoulder to get the congratulations, you've been promoted now, and they go into their first leadership role. And what then happens is usually an absolute roller coaster of emotions. They have these euphoric highs that they've finally been recognised for their technical prowess and that they're good at what they do. But then comes the thud of anxiety when they realise that no one has ever shown them what it means to be a leader. So this very first book, and it's going to be the first of many, was designed to help those first-time leaders to conquer their anxieties, to get past their limiting beliefs, and to understand what it means to be a truly inspirational leader for their team, and to become the leader they can become and the leader that their team deserves. So the first book, it is all about first-time leaders, but as it turns out from all of the feedback that we're getting about the book, it turns out it's a wonderful reference for anyone, regardless of where you are in your leadership journey.
Oh, if you just have that 15 years ago, and then if I know that, I think I'm gonna be a good leader or a better leader right now.
Well, thank you, Sei.
But of course, I'm gonna learn. You're learning based on your experience now. Am I right? But then.
Yeah, I have been a leader for more than 30 years, right, in different kind of leadership roles. I didn't always get it right either, by the way. So there's lots of lessons learnt that I had to learn as a leader in here as well. There's mistakes in here, as well as where I got to my great track record. So I ended up being an executive in multiple multinational companies with a wonderful track record of developing high performance teams, but it wasn't smooth sailing along the way. And those lessons are in this book as well. It talks about my own leadership journey, as well as the lessons that I wanted to share with my audience about that leadership journey.
So while you're writing this book, what did you learn about those journey?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I learned a lot about myself, not just about leadership. I really took time to reflect on all of those mistakes that I've made in the past, the successes and the mistakes. And I practice something called daily reflection. I do this every day. I ask myself the same 5 questions every day. What went well today? What didn't go well today? What would I do differently if I had the same situation or a similar situation presented again? And what did I learn about myself today, and what did I learn about others? So you can imagine when I sat down to write a book that was capturing those lessons over my journey on the leadership journey that I've been on, you can imagine how much reflection I did. And I'm winding back to my days when I was in defence, and some of the leaders there that were good and some that were not so good, and then my own leadership journey when I joined a company called Talus, and I had a wonderful, successful career with that company, but I also made mistakes there, and I was able to reflect on what worked and what didn't work and what I would do differently, and that's all captured in here. So it was a 10-month process to write the book, and I'm going to say 8 months of that 10 months was in reflection mode. Hey everyone, it's Mick Spiers from the Leadership Project, where we empower leaders with all of the knowledge and skills that they need to create amazing teams and amazing workspaces. If you're liking today's video, please don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and the notification bell. Back to the show.
Because you've worked for this book for 10 months, or let's say 8 to 10 months. I've seen your hardships, etc. But of course, behind those doors, behind those early morning things that you've do for the past few months, what do you think are your hardships? What are your reflections? What else can you say about the book?
Yeah, it's a good question. It is no easy feat to write a book, but it's not beyond you. So anyone out there that thinks that they've got a book inside them, with the right guidance and help, you can get that book from out of your head and onto the page. Let me share that with you. So I took a very structured process. I built an avatar. I thought about a fictitious person named Rachel, who was in that early stage of leadership, had transitioned, and I put myself in her shoes and thought about all of the emotions that she was going through. And I thought about all the things that I wish I knew when I was at that same transition stage in my journey. And then I just started a mind map. I started a mind map of all of the things that you need to go from first-time leader to high-performance leader. And I started mind mapping all the things that I wish I knew when I was at that stage. So I built out a mind map. The mind map turned into an outline. The outline, I then just started fleshing it out. And probably the one tricky part is I didn't know when to stop. So I targeted for this book to be a 45,000 word manuscript, and it ended up being 63,000 words, because I just kept on, I'm always learning and I'm always reflecting, and I kept on thinking of additional things that could go in the book. So probably the most difficult part was putting the pen down and going, okay, that's it, there's the first book, the rest can wait for book 2, book 3, book 4, book 83. Right?
Yeah, that's it. And you know what? I'm very proud of you that you did this book. You know that every single day I've been telling you that I'm very proud of you. And I know you can do it. You can do more. It's not just about one book, 2 or 3. We have 82 books that we need to do.
Yeah, we probably should tell everyone what that's about. So this is the first of many books, and there's a reason why we keep on saying 83 books. John C. Maxwell has written 83 books, and John, I'm coming after you in a nice way, with complete respect. I mean, amazing author, really thought-provoking all the time. So yes, I'm aiming for at least 83 books, and John C. Maxwell is my inspiration there.
Oh, anyone else that inspires you to do that book? Of course, it's been, because of your leadership experiences for the past 30 years. Do you have anyone else?
Oh, there's so many. And in this book, there's a concept called the Amalgam Leader. That's probably a good thing for me to talk about. So I should know the chapters by now, but I can't remember which chapter this is in, but I talk about the concept called the Amalgam Leader. And in the Amalgam Leader, I do reflect on all of the leaders in my past that have inspired me, and those that did the opposite, those that kind of demotivated me, made me feel like I didn't matter, made me feel like my work wasn't important, etc. And I encourage our audience and the readers to do this as well, by the way. You build this amalgam leader and you pick different people and you identify what was it, specifically what was it about them that you loved. And for those horrible bosses, specifically what was it that they did that made you feel less than valued? And then start picturing that, and you build your picture of your perfect leader together, because there is no such thing as a perfect leader. Maybe Nelson Mandela might be the closest we've ever had, but really there's no such thing as a perfect leader. So build your picture of what worked and what worked for you and what you saw work for those around you, and then bring your own personality to it. Make sure you're bringing your own authentic self, because otherwise people see through it if you're just putting on a show.
So yeah, thank you so much for that, Mick. And then, because we've talked about that, how long you did the book, it's 8 to 10 months. And then what is your work schedule? And many people wanted to know that. Yeah, because many people also know that I've been supporting you a lot, etc. And then, why is it? How is it?
That's a great question. So here's a little secret that some people know, not everyone knows. So for the majority of the writing of this book, not the entire period, but for the majority of writing this book, I was working for a company called Cubic, a company that I still love and adore. And hi Cubes out there everywhere. Hi people from Tallis, I love you as well. I was working for a company called Cubic, and I was working in a San Diego-based role. And in that San Diego-based role, I was working from like 10 p.m. through to about 10 a.m. You and I were living in Singapore, and I was working a San Diego-based job. So I was living a vampire existence. And then what I would do is on the weekends, I would keep that same body clock. Rather than 5 days a week working vampire hours and then 2 days a week working normal hours, I just did it on Saturdays and Sundays as well. And that was where I found the time to write the book. So when you and Thomas were sleeping on Saturday nights and Sunday nights, I was writing the book, and I would get into a flow state. I think the maximum I ever got to was about 5,000 words in one day. And any authors out there, you know that's a big number, right? So I'd get into these flow states and I'd punch it out. So on Saturday nights, Sunday nights, I'd either be researching the book, I'd be writing the book, I'd be editing the book, and now it's in existence. What I now do, now that I no longer work those vampire hours, I still wake up at 4 o'clock every day. And even now, this book is already published. I start every day at 4 o'clock, and I start with writing. I start with blogging and journaling to keep in that writer's kind of flow, to make sure that I don't lose that.
Oh, you know what? As much as I wanted you to be with me during the night times, I'm just letting you to do your book during those times. It's just that, of course, I can't stop you to do that book, to write that book, because that's it's like you're very proud to do that every day, every single day of your life. So I just needed to support you all the way every time that you wanted to do that.
So thank you. So thank you so much. This book would not exist without you, you know that. Mm-hmm. And for those that have got their copy at home, if you open it up, you'll see it's dedicated to Sei, and it's dedicated to my son Henry. Hi Henry, great to see you. And my son Thomas. So, and for Henry and Thomas, it's because I want to inspire them to become leaders of the next generation. And the dedication to you is because it wouldn't exist if it wasn't for your incredible support.
Yeah, I'm going to cry.
Tissues? No.
No, it's just that every time I've been hearing that, every time I just hearing that, it was just making me proud, of course. It's just that because I know your hardships, everything. Oh my God, I need to stop it.
Don't stop recording. This is gold. This is the real Sei right now. Just watch the microphone.
Oh yes, just watch the microphone. Oh my God!
My makeup is going to start running. My makeup is starting to run even.
So see, because I'm listening, and then every time you talk to me like that.
Glamorous tissues. They have glamorous tissues in this house.
Oh yeah. Love you.
Love you too.
I'm just very, very proud. I'm just very proud that you did this one.
Hey everyone, it's Mick Spiers from the Leadership Project, where we empower leaders with the knowledge and skills that they need to create amazing teams and amazing workspaces. If you're enjoying our content, please do remember to hit like, subscribe, and that little notification bell so that you can be notified of all of our future videos. In the meantime, please do take care, look out for each other, and join us on this journey as we learn together and lead together.